Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 32 on logic. In this lecture also we will discuss one question on quantifiers which was asked in GTU Summer 2022 exam. First we understand what is this question about. Here we are given that the domain of Qxyz consists of triples xyz where x can take values 0, 1 or 2, y can take 0 or 1 and z can take the values 0 or 1. Write out following propositions using disjunctions, that is or operator, and conjunctions, that is and operator. So we are given that domain of Qxyz is the set of all those triples xyz where possible values of x are 0, 1, 2 and y can take values 0 and 1 and possible values of z are 0 and 1. So we have to consider only those triples for these different values of x, y and z. For example, we can have 0, 1 and 1 in this domain because x equal to 0 is allowed, y equal to 1 is allowed and z equal to 1 is allowed. But we cannot have 0 to 1 in this domain because here y equal to 2 and here y is 0 and 1 only. So this is not in the domain. So that is the meaning of domain of Qxyz which is given here. Now we have to write down these propositions in another form using disjunctions and conjunctions. So what is given? For all y, we have q of 0, y 0. So for all possible values of y, we have this statement q of 0, y 0. So this is true for all possible values of y, and here values of y given are 0 or 1 only. There are two possible values of y. So this means this is true for y equal to 0, that is for the triple 0, 1, 0. Here we put y equal to 0, and it is true for y equal to 1 also. First we put y equal to 0 here, then we obtain 0, 0, 0, and for y equal to 1 we will have 0, 1, 0. So by taking y equal to 0 and 1, we have these two triples, and here it is given that for every possible values of y we have this proposition. That means this proposition is true for 0, 0, 0 triple as well as for 0, 1, 0. So this we can rewrite in this way also, that q of 0, 0, 0 and q of 0, 1, 0. Here we are asked to write down the given proposition using disjunctions and conjunctions operators, and here this proposition is written using universal quantifier that we can write equivalently in this form using this conjunction operator here. So because here we have a universal quantifier, this is true for all values of y, and for possible values of y are 2, and for these two possible values of y we obtain two triples. By taking y equal to 0 we obtain 0, 0, 0. By taking y equal to 1 we obtain 0, 1, 0. So q must be true for both the triples, therefore we write AND operator here. Second statement is there exists z such that this statement is true, that is negation of q 0, 0 z. So now here this is true for at least one value of z, and in the domain possible values of z are 2. So this is true either for z equal to 0, that is 0, 0, 1, and for z equal to 0, here we will obtain 0, 0, 0, and for z equal to 1 we will have 0, 0, 1. and here we have this requirement for some z or for at least one z. So if this is true or this is true, then this is correct. So here we will use disjunction operator. We will write negation of q of 0 0 0 for z equal to 0, or negation of q of 0 0 1, that is for z equal to 1. So whenever we have existential quantifier, this statement is true for some value of z, so it can be true for z equal to 0 or it can be true for z equal to 1. It is not required that it is true for all values of z. So whenever we have this OR type situation, we are using disjunction. Next one is there exists x such that this is true, and in the domain possible values of x are 0, 1 and 2, and here we have existential quantifier. So this is valid if it is true for x equal to 0, that is 0, 1, 1. It is valid if it is true for x equal to 1, so I take x equal to 1 here, and it is true if x equal to 2. So by taking x equal to 2, we have 2, 1, 1, and it is required that this is valid or true for at least one value of x. So it can be true for x equal to 0 or for x equal to 1 or for x equal to 2. It is not necessary that all these hold. Therefore, we use disjunction here. And the next one is there exists x such that negation of q x01. So this is also similar to that one, previous one. Here this can be true for x equal to 0, 1 or 2. So we will write down possible statements for x equal to 0, 1 and 2. For x equal to 1, I will obtain 1, 0, 1, and for x equal to 2, I will obtain 2, 0, 1. I have taken x equal to 0, 1 and 2 here, and these two are as it is, and here also it is required that this is true for at least one value of x. Therefore it is true if this is true or this is true or this is true. So here we write OR operator. So sometimes they can ask you to write down given propositions using disjunctions and conjunctions also, and you can easily write in this way. Remember that whenever we have universal quantifier, we will use conjunction operator, and whenever we have existential quantifier, we will use this disjunction or this logical connectives OR. Another name is disjunction, and for this we use AND operator or conjunction operator. So this is easy question. It was asked in GTU Summer 2022 exam. So this is all about this session. I hope you like it. We will continue with this series in upcoming lectures. Thanks for watching.